All right, so we're going to water together tonight. There have been some new developments here in the garden. Let's see. This stuff looks... I have a good feeling it's going to bounce back. I had to move everything from Mom's in the back up to the front. So I transplanted all of the asparagus and the horseradish, which it's not advisable to do it while it's actively growing, but I really had no choice. All of my lettuce that Corbin had seeded for me, I got planted in here. Then the third bed, we only had 3 of the 4 beds planted in the back. I got to decide what I'm going to put in here. I haven't pulled the onions yet from the back. I'm waiting until the last minute. I'll probably do that Friday because they're actually not ready. So I'm a little nervous about having to do that. I had some compost tea. Actually compost tea because I had put the compost in the wheelbarrow, and I was going to be working on that for my in-ground plants over there that I had worked on the beds. Anyways, and then it started raining, and I just never went back and did anything. And so then the wheelbarrow got full of rainwater, so I just let it continue to steep. And then what I did was it yesterday? Yeah, because yesterday we pulled everything from, I pulled everything from the back and brought it up here to the front garden. And gave everybody a drink from that compost tea. And I'm watering the beets right now, and it looks like I didn't spider because that spider web is back. So that spider's still down there somewhere. And it looks like the katydids and the grasshoppers are really having a field day with my beets, or not my beets, my Brussels sprouts. So I'm going to have to get some more diatomaceous earth on that. I'm not sure if I even dusted them the last time when I did it. So I know as the plants are more established, you don't have to focus so much on watering at the base. But for whatever reason, these 2 plants, they're so raised up. I don't know if you can see from this side. They're so raised up in the soil. That's why I still water at the base of these guys, to make sure that they're getting the water. You got a good shot of the Brussels sprouts right there. They're looking pretty good. I don't know how long it takes for them to get bigger. But when I was out here messing around yesterday, I saw something super exciting. I'm going to show it to you as soon as I get over there. These are the carrots. Last time I stuck my finger down in there trying to see what they look like, they were still just little babies, not like baby carrot size. They were smaller than that. I really need to get that off the vine. I keep saying it, but I'm not doing anything about it. And I did kill that hornworm that was on these tomatoes, but I think it might have been too late. But it's weird because, so like that hornworm would have eaten all the leaves like that. And it doesn't really look like anything else has been eaten, but it's just not surviving. And I've dusted it with stuff, and I've tried, to bring it back to life. I gotta pull the hose every once in a while. I really gotta mow in here. It's just, whoops, trying not to waste water like that. Really need to mow in here. I just haven't had the time with everything else going on. We're almost ready to see my, got a mosquito. They seem to, most of them just bounce off from my homemade bug spray, but sometimes they land on me and try to eat me anyways. Try to stay away from the deep because it's so bad for you. So I'm going to water at that stem, and look at those little babies right there. I got 2 cantaloupes growing up here and didn't even know it. I don't know how I keep missing this stuff. But this guy is just looking weak, and I don't understand why. I know it's been getting hotter lately. Is that a bug? I know it's been getting hotter lately, so that may be something to do with it. And even though there's only 2 stems, there's 1 stem there and there's 1 stem there. And even though there's only 2 stems, I still like to just go ahead and water the whole bed. That way, if the roots are somewhere else and they get thirsty, they have access to water. I don't know if I'm doing any good or if I'm just wasting water. Hopefully, I'm not just wasting water. And then my spinach bed, I haven't been watering my spinach bed. That stuff is toast, and I got to figure out what I can put in there. Missed a little spot right there. But I've got 2 cantaloupes here. So I was talking the other day about how the cantaloupe was only going to produce 2 to 3 or whatever it was I said. So I did a little bit more research on it. And really, I think it was like 2 to 4 or 3 to 6 plants per cantaloupe per vine. And it says you want to cut off the slower fruit, the lower fruit, and let the vine concentrate on the good fruit. Like, only the strong survive. Because if you have too many fruit, the flavor of the fruit that you grow is not going to be there. Now, how you determine which ones you keep and which ones you don't keep, I have no idea. Obviously, I'm keeping that one. It looks like it's, oh no, that's not good. It's growing right in between that. Let's get it out of there. Pushed it back in. It was squeezed right between that trellis. Try to give these good healthy drinks. And I do, every time I come over here, I try to go ahead and poke these back in somewhere, somehow. Because I don't know that it really matters. I mean, if I get 1 cantaloupe off of this thing, I think I'm going to be pretty happy because I wasn't sure if I was even going to get anything. And there's 2 vines in here. So see that fruit right there? The flower's already dead and it's yellowing, so that may be one of the ones that I'm supposed to cut off. Looks like there's some wonky fruits right there. Probably should cut those off. So I guess when I'm out here, I really should just try to be more focused and intentional, like come out and work on this and find out what exactly I need to do with it, how exactly I need to do with it, instead of when I make these videos be like, oh, I need to check on that, and then most of the time I forget. Another thing, these are my bell peppers. Another thing that I looked into that I need to find out more about is it said peppers like to grow together. So the more peppers you grow, not necessarily together, let me rephrase that. It said that peppers like to touch. So apparently peppers grow better when they're touching each other. So like this bed, I've only got the 3 peppers in here. And I still, to this point, have not added the bell peppers that Corbin so graciously seeded for me. I did, however, finally get that lettuce in the ground, so that was a plus. But I've got some of those bell peppers that are still alive in the little seed trays that he made for me. And I really need to get those out and put them up. We've got our 3 bell peppers going good. We've got some more gypsy peppers. I'm going to see if I can make myself leave these 2 alone because I want to see what colors they turn. And then we've got 1 more banana pepper coming up. There's some blooms at the top, so hopefully those will turn. Our mint is doing all right. The bigger pieces of it are looking a little sad. But also, I'm thinking this may need more shade. But it was out in the direct sun when it was back over there by Mama's. So, here's a curious question about the peppers. These guys are most of these guys are touching, and it seems like I'm doing really good with them. So it makes me wonder if there really is something to the whole theory that peppers like to touch when they grow. Because I mean, this one's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's 11 jalapenos on this plant. I've harvested 1 from that, and there's 3 on there. I see 1, 2, 3. There's a tiny one, 4 on there. So, and these 2 guys right here, I mean, they're bushing out really well. Not a lot of fruit. I've got 1 cayenne from this. But there's 1 growing. There's a baby one. Oops. There's 1 growing there, and there's a baby one there. So, they're starting to come. We've got a lot of blooms on this one. This is the Serrano. I haven't, there's 1 actual pepper right there. That's the first one I've seen so far. And then we've got that habanero, and I don't believe I've had a single one. I don't even think I've seen a single flower on that one. So, don't know what's happening with it. There's some weeds in there I need to pull out, but that's not happening today because I only have 2 hands. I did a little work yesterday on my squash and zucchinis. I harvested a very large zucchini yesterday. One of my squash plants isn't looking too good, and I'm not really sure what's happening. But I did learn about some, I think they're called borers. Anyways, they're notorious for destroying your squash and zucchini plants, and they leave eggs, and I found some eggs. So I was cutting the plants back, so I just cut those leaves off. And I've been trying to be more diligent about checking the leaves. They're on the little, just like little pods on the back side of the leaves. So I've been trying to check those, because I've got, see, like these, like just out of the, I don't know why. It could be the way that I tied the plant up. Thought about that. I don't know. And those weren't like that yesterday, because yesterday I pretty much trimmed off everything that was bad. So those really they must have already been bad. Maybe I just didn't notice, but they definitely didn't get that way in a day. And I also learned, somebody said to check your flowers in the morning. Because I was talking about forcing my flowers open, and I didn't know if that was the right thing to do or not. But apparently the flowers open more in the morning. So we've got several squash coming up here. I just got real sad when I started, I was so excited with all the squash that I had on the vine. But then it was falling off, and I wasn't getting anything. So that was making me pretty sad. But I think I'm gonna leave that now. We'll just drop this over here in the blackberries real quick. We'll come over here and take a gander at the tomatoes. I harvested 1 yellow boy yesterday. Looks like there's another yellow boy that's ready to harvest. Not as many red tomatoes today. I got a ton yesterday. Maybe only a couple there. There's a couple down there. I don't know what's happening right there. I'll probably cut that off though. But everything is still blossoming. Marigolds are doing good. Contemplating adding some more tomatoes on the other side. Also, I'm going to check if you can plant tomatoes with okra. These are the cucumbers. They're doing good. Oh, forgot. I moved my bins into my garden. This was a work in progress, because they were outside the garden here and here. And then I moved them inside the garden. So this is going to be compost, and this is going to be mulch. And then we could just load everything in Greg's truck, back up to the fence, dump into this bin, back up to the fence, dump into that bin. So it's going to be a whole lot easier by doing that. And then my okras are doing good. I did find out that I was supposed to be trimming them up, so I did that the other day, and they're looking good. Still got several more okras growing, which is fantastic. I'm super happy about that. But I do have a lot to do today, so enough chit chat. I'll catch up with you later.